Hello everyone and welcome back. Last period I explained you about the tissues. What are tissues? Tissues is nothing but a cell, a group of cell organization, okay, a group of cells formed together which performs the same functions. A group of cells which perform the same functions grouped together and forming a tissues Okay, that is called tissue. And today we are going to see plants and animal tissues. So plants and animal tissues are both different. Okay, they are different. In whatever the case it may be, they are different. They perform different functions and they perform differently. So plants and animals are two different organisms. Plants are autotrophic organisms, that is, they produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, I'm talking about the next topic, that is, are plants and animals made of same type of tissues? So, it is no. The plants and animal tissues are completely different because the plants, they produce their own food, okay, and animals, they take the food of the producers, that is plant or other animals, okay, other animals prey. So moreover, plants are stationary or fixed, that is, they do not move about except for a few unicellular algae like fungus. It may be fungus, unicellular algae, fungus, or cyanobacteria, right? So these unicellular organisms, they move sometimes, okay, they move from one place to another. But the plants, main plants, they are stationary, means they cannot move, okay, they are fixed in a same position. If you plant a tree in your backyard, it will not come and stay in your front yard, right? Or it will not come and stay in your gate. Why? Because they cannot move. They will stay forever unless someone cut it down and throw it away or do some for work, right? So they cannot move and they will stay from one place. They will stay in one place stationary till they are dead. So hence they do not consume or need much energy. Therefore, most of the tissues of plants are supportive, that provide them with structural strength. Since the plants does not move like animals, they have a complete tissues. They have complete different tissues than animals. Okay, animals move from one place to another. They need lots of energy, right? They need lots of energy from going from here to there, right? From studying also we need energy. From playing also we need energy, whatever it may be the case. But in plants they are different. They stay in one place and produce their own food. So because of that, the tissues in plants are different, and the tissues mainly give supportive. Okay, they are mainly supportive. They provide mechanical strength, like in xylem, phloem, right? You have xylem tissues, phloem tissue. So they move, they transport the materials from, or they transfer the food or water from one place to another. So because of that, they need mechanical energy, not like in animal cell. So most of these tissues like xylem, phloem, sclerenchyma and cork are dead. That is, they do not contain living protoplasm. So since the cells are supportive, since the tissues are supportive, most of the cells, okay, most of the tissues like xylem, phloem, sclerenchyma and cork are dead. Means they do not have a living protoplasm, or they do not have living cell walls, right? On the other hand, animals are heterotrophic organisms. They move from one place to place in search of food, make and shelter. Therefore, they need more energy as compared to plants. Most animal tissues contain living cells. So like plant cells, unlike plant cells or plant tissues, in animal tissues or animal cells, they require more energy, and they move from one place to another. Because of this, the tissues or the cells which are present in our living body are mostly living cells or living tissues. Okay, they are not dead tissues. They do not have dead tissues like sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem, or cork. There are some tissues and plants that divide throughout their life. Tissues divide for the growth and reproduction of plants. Such tissues are localized in certain regions. Based on the dividing capacity of the tissue, the various plant tissues can be classified as meristematic tissues and prominent tissues. So there are some tissues, right? Tissues in plants that divide throughout their life. So tissues divide throughout their life, from they does not stay, okay, or they does not remain as it is. They continue to divide through meiotic. Okay, through meiotic they continue to divide from one cell to two cells, three cells to four cells. Okay, they continue to divide the cells or tissues, and tissues divide for the growth and production of plants. So why does the tissues require growth, or why does they divide? Why does tissues divide in plant cells? In plant cells they grow big, right? The plants grow very big. Okay, some plants like banyan trees, they grow in a very big quantity, right? And because of that, the tissues continue to grow to support the plant. In human being, what is the most approximate size of the humans? We can say 6 feet, highest 6 feet, right? 6 feet or 5.8 maximum people. Okay, and in plant they are very big. It can be 30 feet, 40 feet, okay, or 50 feet. So because of that, the plants require more tissues, and they continue to divide more. Such tissues are localized in certain regions. Based on the dividing capacity of the tissue, the various plant tissue can be classified as meristematic tissue and prominent tissue. So based on the tissues, it can be divided into the two types, that is prominent and meristematic tissues. On the other hand, there is no such distinct region in animals. Cell growth in animals is more uniform, so there is no demarcation of dividing and non-dividing regions in animals. So in animal cells or in plant cells, they have a region, right? So this is your part, this is my part, right? In plant cell, in plant tissue. But in animal, they does not like discriminate. Okay, they can come, they can go, right? The cells. Okay, and because of this, the cells in animal is more uniform. They does not grow rapidly. They grow in a very uniform manner. Like one day it may be grown into one cells or two cells, right? But in plant cells, they continue to grow bigger and bigger. They continue to divide. So this will be your topic for this period, and next period will continue with the meristematic tissues. Okay, meristematic tissues.